excited to be here. I was telling some of I actually just sent out a tweet that I was here and that I landed in Baltimore and everything was good. And I got 3 tweets back. Where are you at? I want to come. And most of them were from the Midwest. And I said, well, you're probably not going to make it by 2, so too bad for you, right? But I will say thank you. Give it up for Mr. Belk. Isn't he awesome? Yeah? Thank you. I'm a talker. I like to talk with my hands too. So thank you, Monsignor, for praying with us. And I'm just excited to see everyone out here. I do mean it when I say, when people were asking me what I was going to go out and do, they were like, we want to do that. I want to do that. I was like, well, you have to be cool like the people out in Baltimore and put it together, right? So, well, I want to first get started by introducing myself. That was a great introduction, but there's a lot more to this blonde chick that talks super fast. So hang on, it's a crazy ride. I'm sorry I talk so fast, but I always say I get enough in to fill like 4 or 5 hours of normal people, right? So we're just gonna go for it. I don't know about you guys, but when I hear someone speak, when they just are talking about their topic or whatnot, I want to know a little bit about them and what got them into what they do. And so I want to introduce you to me, and I always like to do that by starting out introducing the most important people in my life. So these are some important people in my life. The first one is, he doesn't like me. Oh, there we go. This is my husband. There we go. This is my husband, Andy. He's super good looking, isn't he? Everyone is always like, I'm not gonna say anything, and then I say, I know, he's very handsome. And I was like, oh, he's very handsome. So, my husband, Andy, and I, the football picture is to prove that I went to college. I did. We went to Benedictine College in Atchison, Kansas, home of the Ravens, one of the best, if not the best, super biased Catholic colleges in the country. We absolutely loved it. We had such a blast. We graduated in '04, and my husband actually came from Dayton, Ohio, just to play football, and had a huge conversion while he was there at Benedictine. And I was actually born and raised in Atchison, and my mom and dad went to Benedictine in '81, and so I followed their footsteps there. And Benedictine is where we found our faith, and we were involved in things like Focus. I don't know if you guys know the fellowship with Catholic University students. I'm a huge Focus fan, and we were involved in campus ministry and just all kinds of different things that I went to a very small high school. I graduated with 18 people in my class. It was in the middle of a cornfield. Blink and miss it, right? And so I played volleyball, basketball, track, cross country. I was a cheerleader. It was awesome. I was all about sports. And so there wasn't a lot of time for my faith life when I was in high school, quote unquote. And college is where I actually really found our Lord. And so I owe so much to Benedictine. One, just discovering our Lord, but also meeting this fabulous man. And Andy actually, after college, because of his conversion, we both decided that we wanted to give back. We wanted to do for college students and high school students what was done for us. And so we went to grad school. We say we because anybody out there that's ever gone to grad school with their husbands, it's a we thing. And so we went to grad school, and after 6 years of full-time teaching and writing dissertations, my husband became Dr. Swafford last month. So I'm really proud of him. I know, he would be so excited to hear you do your little golf clap. That's awesome. And so Dr. Swafford actually teaches full-time in the theology department at Benedictine. You talk about just God making it happen. So Andy, I call him Swaff because we were actually friends before we dated, and Swaff is just stuck. So sorry I refer to my husband as Swaff. And then people call me Mama Swaff, so it works out, right? So I thought we were busy in college. It was nuts. We were involved in so much. I loved every single minute of it. And then this happened. And I got a little bit busier. So these are our awesome kids. I wanted to introduce them to you. This is Thomas. He's really fun. He's 6 years old, and this is his senior picture. And a little scared at how good he did, right? So that was without effort. Thomas is a doll. He just lost his first tooth, so big stuff. And then the next little one is Fulton. Any Archbishop Fulton fans in the house? Woo-hoo! Yeah. This is my baby Fulton, and he will be 5 next month in a couple weeks. He is ornery, and super cuddly and absolutely wonderful. He fits his name, that's for sure. And then this is baby Kate. Catherine Marie was born. She will be 1 in May. And so she's about 7 months here, but she is awesome. I just love her. My kids, I thought the boys, we're good friends and whatnot, but then when you have a baby, it's just so awesome. They absolutely love her. They're like, where's Kate? I'm like, she's sleeping. And they're like, oh, okay, we'll go check on her. I'm like, don't go near the door. They're like, we're just checking on her. I'm like, no, you're not. You're going to go in and shake the crib and wake her up so she can play. I know you people too well. So this is my awesome family. They are really fun, and they are my full-time gig. So when about 4 years ago, I was blessed to be what's called a residence hall director. You guys ever heard of like a dorm mom? All you high schoolers, you'll be excited to know when you go to college. There are these fun people who, at Benedictine, we have 9 residence halls, and each residence hall has a family or a single person that lives there in the dorm with all the students. Well, we were getting ready to move back to Atchison. Andy was offered a job to be a professor, and we didn't have a place to live. So we were joking around, and I applied for a hall director job, kind of as a joke. And I got it, and because I had a 2-month-old and a 14-month-old. And so it was more like, that'd be fun. And then God said, here you go, let's do it. I was like, whoa. So I actually was assigned to a junior dorm, a junior women's dorm, and the day before we were going to move in, they switched me to a freshman women's dorm. So I had 142 freshman women 3 years in a row, and we lived, Andy and Thomas Bolt and I lived in dorms. And I have to tell you, I had the most phenomenal time. But now looking back, I know exactly why I was where I was supposed to be. Because God blessed me with a front row seat to what it's like to transition from high school to college. All the moms in here, how is that transition out of high school into college? We never ever want to do it again, right? So it's very awesome and it's so much fun, but it is hard. It's one of the biggest transitions you'll ever go through. So I was in charge of homesickness, breakups, overflowing toilets, chick fights, you name it. I was in charge of all of that. And what ended up happening is a lot of times there would be girls coming to our apartment and just wanting advice or needing help. And I remember I felt like I kept saying the same things over and over again. And the number one question that I always got was, I'm just so tired of waiting for the right guy to show up in my life. I'm just so tired of being patient. What the heck am I supposed to be doing with myself? I'm trying to get over a past relationship. You name it, a lot of it was centered around relationships. And so some girls and I were talking one night, and they were like, you need to get up and give a talk about this. And I'm like, what's this? And I'm like, I don't know what you talk about, And so one night at Benedictine, I put up flyers, and I said, okay, here's what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about emotional virtue. And the subtitle was, Love Emotions, Taylor Swift, Mental Stalking, and Mr. Right. That was the subtitle of the talk. And going in that night, I didn't really know what I was going to talk about. I was hoping 20 people would come and we could have a really fun discussion. I walked into the little auditorium, and there were 300 women waiting for me. Kind of like this. And I thought, wow, Lord, we really struck a nerve here. And so after that talk, I left the auditorium, and I was walking back to my apartment, and I could see these groups of girls just talking. There was groups everywhere just talking. Then I got back to my house, back to the dorm apartment, and Andy is staying there, and there's a line of 8 women waiting to talk to me. And Andy's like, what did you say? I was like, I don't know. And so the girls were like, I loved what you said, but I didn't have a pen, so can you write it down because I don't remember everything that you said. So I went to my computer and I wrote up this 6-page emotional virtue thing, and it just started. I made photocopies, and all 900 women on campus had it, and it was just we were slipping it under doors. I had priests giving it under confessional doors. It was just everywhere. And I was starting to get emails from all over the country for the talk. And then that's where it landed on someone's desk at EWTN. And that's when they called me and said, we really want you to come on Life on the Rock and talk about this. And I was like, okay. And so that was the scariest time in my life. I thought I was going to throw up, not going to lie. I was sitting there, and there's 6 cameras, and I was like, just kidding, I don't want to do this. And I was like, I have to. But it was funny, the guy that put my little lapel mic on, he goes, don't worry about it. It's only 30 million people, and you won't remember a thing. And I was like, oh, great, I feel so much better. So he came back to take my mic off, and he goes, what'd you say? And I was like, I have no idea. He's like, that's right. 45 minutes went by in 5 minutes. It was awesome. So anyway, that's kind of how it all started, and now I've been asked I've been going all over the country whenever my time allows to be with really cool people like yourselves. And actually, I would love for you guys to pray for me. On Friday, I'm actually flying out to Denver. And I don't know if you guys know who Jason and Kristalina Everett are. Good friends of mine, yeah. They actually have invited me. We're gonna do a bunch of taping of videos for Kristalina's new website called womenmadenew.com. And so if you could pray for me, and if you guys could check out that website, it is phenomenal. It's all about healing and moving on with your life, and it's awesome. So anyway, pray for me, because it's gonna be kind of a crazy, awesome week. But that's how all this stuff got started. And so what I want to share with you guys today is, one of the things I really like to say is, I'm a 28-year-old mom of 3. And so all you high school women out there, or college women, or whatever it is, wherever you are in life, I'm here to be the person that I wish I would have had come to me when I was 14, 15, 16. Because life is dramatic, and there's a lot of baggage, and there's a lot of things that you go through, and sometimes you really just wish you had a roadmap, or you had someone that, as the girls always tell me, articulated what it is that's really hard to articulate. Nod your head up and down if you follow me. Okay, good. So that's what I want to share with you. And so we kind of talked about doing a little emotional virtue, and then I also want to do a little of what I call tackling the beast of body image and self-worth and self-confidence. And so I'm going to share a little bit of both of those with you. So the first thing I want to talk about is, whenever I was hanging out with the girls, they would always come to me, girls and guys. I lived in a freshman women's dorm, so naturally I knew every guy on campus also, right? Where the girls are, the guys go. So I knew a lot of men and women, and one of the things they kept telling me is, look, Sarah, I know, I want to save myself for marriage, that's really important to me. I've been to every chastity talk. My mom made me read every chastity book that there is. I'm a frequent EWTNer, I get it, I know what I'm doing. And then they break down into tears, and then they say, but I'm a mess inside. I'm a mess. And I just kept feeling yeah, I know exactly what that feels like, to feel like you have all the answers, but yet it just isn't working out the way that you're trying, but you're just spinning your wheels. And so one of the things that kind of stood out to me was, I started thinking about these women, and I started to worry. And I worry because the world knows how to mess with you. Our world it's really intense, whether it's the latest chick flick, or the latest love song that's out, or you name it. It is all just so emotionally saturated. Do you guys know what I mean? Jason was hilarious. Jason Everett was just in town the other day. He was talking about this rap song that's oh gosh, it's give me everything tonight, we might not have tomorrow, it's all this stuff. And he was so funny. He's what is this, a bank robbery? What am I supposed to give you everything tonight? Do you want my beat up car? What would you like? You know what I mean? And he was cracking me up, but it's true. If you think about the music, it's all just so emotional and sexual, and not all of it. We have I love Taylor Swift. She's one of the best things we have going for us. And when you look at everybody that's out there, she's one of the best ones that we have going for us. And yet, listening to some of her music, if you guys just look at the lyrics, it's just super emotional. And sometimes I always say, Taylor's great. Taylor on repeat can be damaging to the soul, right? So you just it's coming at you all the time, and there's no filter. There's no whoa, And it's the same thing for guys, guys that maybe struggle with lust, or, women are usually turned on by the ears, men are turned on by the eyes. Women, it's all about what we hear, right? And men, it's all about what they see. So a guy watching, I would say, men watching, Fast and Furious and all these movies, typically in a good guy movie, something blows up every 6 minutes and there's a lot of nudity, right? Great guy movie, all the girls are thanks, no thanks, right? You go to that theater, I'll go to this theater, or I'll go. Because what's a normal chick flick like? It's a 2-hour emotional roller coaster, and you're oh, highs, lows. I just love that Titanic came out. Oh my gosh. I remember I went and saw that movie when I was a freshman in high school with my 2 brothers. It was Hank and Ted on both sides. My mom was shopping or something, and I was I'll take you to the movies. And I was sobbing, snot, running down my eyes. And I was I knew a boat was going down, but I did not know it was going to be that emotional. And I was and my brother Hank turned to me, he's are you going to be okay? What is wrong with you? And I'm a boat's going down, that's all. And I'm oh my gosh. It's a terrible movie, the whole 2-day relationship of Jack and Rose. It's oh my gosh. Okay, point is,